Hey Amanda, thanks for the videos and sorry about the delay. Just got back in town, could not get any kind of signal to see the videos while I was out, so apologize for that. So let's take a look. I had to slow this down and figure out what is going on here because it was so nice, and I just wanted to make sure because he does such nice tandems and laps. I wasn't quite sure what your cue was to come to you, and then it's right there. You just do a little handshake right when he's landing. He comes straight into you. So I think that's a really great cue, something super easy that you can use. And it tells him come to me and then take the backside. Little pause there to help that flick. That looks fantastic. So really nicely done. So right here, I'm just bringing this up. You don't do it on the other tries, which I think is great. You give him a little wave in the tunnel there, and I just don't think it's necessary. Why I say that is he sees your motion. When he's looking right now, it's a nice straight tunnel. He can see your feet moving. So just not so important to do that. It's not a big deal that you are because it really doesn't cost any time. You're not going very far or anything like that. And it doesn't have any negative consequences or anything. And you don't do it on the other tries. So really nice and early on cueing everything. Like the distance work on the tunnel there. Nice and early right there as well, bringing him around. Front cross looks lovely. The rest of that looks really good to me. So overall, very nice. And then here, same idea. This obviously much more obvious cue. That arm is coming up super early, which is great. Asking him to come in. You're ready. And supporting that slice by your motion looks really good to me. So obviously a lot more work to do that, but it's nice to show, it's kind of nice to find those different lines and figure out how you handle them a little bit differently, and he reads all of those really well. So all of this again looks good, nice early, and reverse spin super early, which is great. So I will say you've got that outside foot up though. Right there, that opposite leg goes up instead of stopping there with that dog side leg forward. So you do that at one other point in the front cross too, but the rest of your footwork looks really good on the rest of your turns. So not too concerned about that, but just wanted to point it out so that you know to be mindful of your footwork. So overall your footwork has vastly improved. So this, again, nice and easy because you can get there so early, getting out of his way, stepping right there. Looks really good and really lovely executed running on the dog's line. And you have plenty of time to get that blind cross in. So nice sending here, sending out, and there's that opposite foot coming up right there again. So when you're sending out, just watch those turns and make sure that you are pivoting back there. Just because it's wasting time, he is a fast boy, and once you start spreading out over these huge long courses instead of the smaller ones, you know, every little step matters. All right. This one I really like. I like how early, again, you've got that opposite arm up. You're doing really nice and consistent on cueing him an obstacle ahead of time, which is perfect. Showing him that you've gotten over to the right side of the tunnel before he enters. He's turning so nicely out of those tunnels, and I love where you are. You're halfway to the next obstacle before he's even landing there. So it makes it just super easy to handle when you can get that much distance on him. And being 15 feet away from that tunnel when he's entering, again, really great skills. So this looks really good. False turn looks great. Blind crossing here I'm not crazy about, just because I think I'd be a little happier with this blind cross if you were going to the front of this jump. The more you're turning him, the earlier that blind cross needs to be. All right, so if we're taking a look at this, you're cueing that nice and early, but then you're taking another step, 2 steps, then you're turning for your blind cross. He's already over the bar. So this false turn cue is great. You need to really be turning over that right shoulder so much earlier when he's way back there, because that makes it really hard to reconnect with him And then nothing wrong with what happened as far as his behavior. It would just be really nice to get that done so much earlier for him so that you don't have to worry about that connection and making sure he's going to the back of that jump. That's why I say if you go to the front of that jump, the being a little late on the blind cross, not such a big deal. You have a lot more leeway. But going to that backside, you don't have much space there to be late is the bottom line, I think, what I'm trying to say. Again, nice and early leaving that jump, which is great. Lovely sending. And again, starting the false turn really, really well right here. And supporting that turn, I think, looks really good. So it'd be interesting on which one you liked better. I would say handling-wise, you handled this last go much better. Just because you were doing everything on time. Like I said, I'm just not crazy about that other blind cross that you did, that's all. All right, nice early and really great position for that backside there. So right here, just again, watch the footwork. You're spreading out right there. He's taking off and you still have motion going in that direction as he's taking off. All right, which makes it hard for him to know he's about to turn. You can see he does turn really, really nicely, but because you have such great distance, you can be turning so much earlier. I think that should be your last step forward and then be pivoting backwards instead of continuing on in that same direction. Okay. Really lovely tunnel break, by the way. All of these look really good and so perfect here. Leaving. Love, love, love that technique. And really nice. Each time you do this, I'm super happy with this. He's got a nice line here. You're slowing down at the perfect spot right there and telling him to come into you. So that looks really great. False turning coming in. What a good boy. And same kind of ideas to this blind cross as your last one. Same feedback there, and that's why I'm not so crazy about it, just because the positioning of it. He's already landing before you get your head turned. So I think you have time to get it done much earlier. You just need to trust that. Trust that commitment to the front side and turn your head over your opposite shoulder much earlier. So again, this looks really fantastic. Starting the false turn, collecting. Again, just making sure you're watching those feet so that you're pivoting back. You can see how wide he is right there. Then what's happening is you're kind of having to wait for him and trust that he's coming without really seeing it. That puts you behind just a little bit. I like that. I like being able to get to the landing side. Love the slowing down right there. That looks really good. And bringing him in and keeping him on that side. And I think much, much, much better turn than you got with the last, or versus the last one and how close he's coming right there. So super happy with that. Good job.